Hey, and welcome to Northern Chris. In this video, I'm redoing my driveway and front walkway. Bit of a process. My total budget was $5,000 Canadian, and this cost $5,100. So the total budget went over by $100. So I'm totally happy with that. During the pandemic, it was hard to get supplies, hard to get some of the original steps that we wanted. So I'm very happy with the way it turned out. So as you can see, the old walkway, the old driveway here, the driveway company, I paid $2,400. They came and spray painted because I wanted to widen it. And you can see here underneath my truck, the driveway was really beat up and chewed up. It was a patch done years ago. I also redid this side walkway here. You can see here right at the edge of the garage itself, the driveway sank maybe 2 inches. So it was time for a new driveway. This is the original driveway from about 30 years ago. And I also replaced all this interlock as well. So again, the guy with the driveway company, he came and spray painted my lawn because I was also widening the driveway. Because in the winter time, it's very hard to get in and out of vehicles. So the first step, remove all the old interlock stones. So here's the side walkway currently removed. And this is the company came to remove the actual old driveway. So they just had a bobcat with some teeth and a bucket. And just came and scraped the old driveway up. And it took an hour and a half to do the whole thing. Very interesting to watch. This footage is actually from my security camera. Then once the old driveway was ripped up, they put some gravel down. Again, they just spread it all out evenly. And we'll compact the driveway for the new asphalt to be poured. We need a team of 4 guys. One using the excavator, the other one's using tools. Just smooth it all out. They ended up taking a roller and just compacted it down as much as you could. And here it is all compacted. My neighbor checking it out. He knew that one of the guys working there. So they recommended 6 weeks for us to drive on it just to help compact it down. So I had some time to do the new walkway, which was perfect. So again, I had to rip up some of the old grass here, following that orange line, because I was not only widening the driveway about a foot, I was also adding 2 feet of interlock. I was going to go all the way down, but we have decided just to stop at the sidewalk. So it turned out one of the neighbors was getting their front walkway done. So I paid these guys 20 bucks to remove all this old sod so I didn't have to get rid of it, which was very, very helpful. Here's a temporary step as I'm removing all the old interlock stones. You can see all the materials from Hardco. There's about $2,700. 2 bags of limestone, 2 bags of 3/4 crushed gravel. So again, had to wheelbarrow, shovel from one bag into the wheelbarrow, and then put it to the front walkway. It had sand there that I wanted to remove. So there you go, about 2 dozen wheelbarrows later, I had a really good base. My cousin had a gas tamper I could borrow, which definitely came in handy. So what happened is they gave us the wrong steps. They said they were going to be darker than they actually were. So we had them exchange them for free. So now that that's dug down, you only have to go down about 12 inches. For some reason I dug close to 20 inches. But I have a lot of that gravel, so I wasn't too worried about it. You'll see that little notch, that's where the old interlock walkway was, so I had to extend it down, add some fabric material down, keep the weeds out, and just keep shoveling more and more gravel. So now I'm starting to do the walkway. I just did a random pattern because each skid of stone, you didn't get the same amount of bricks, so I didn't want to run out. So then I had to ask a few friends and family to help me move these natural stones. They each weigh about 350 pounds. So I had some rollers and then some straps.
This isn't going on top, it's going in front. Oh, it's going in front, the next one's going on top. The only thing is I don't know. The tricky part is so this is buttoned up to this one. I know. That's the thing, I don't actually know.
So as you can see, we were kind of figuring it out as we went.
Lift that. Come on. Use your back. Fine. I went to my finger. Use your back.
Get your finger in there.
So my neighbor was out as well. He was just watching us.
Which way are you going?
But big shout out to them. All my friends and family helped me lift these steps. So here's the second one going in. I had 2 spacers cut, one on each side, so this just sits on top, so it's hollow underneath this top step. Because of the brick on the house, it's really rough, and these are natural stones. I had to chip away some of the brick to push these steps in tight.
I don't know where his is. Must be on the other side. Maybe. I don't know.
So now that hard part was done, I can now continue doing the random pattern. I was doing it all by myself. Add some of the curbing around the garden as well. So originally I was going to just do 2 rows, but it looked really funny walking down here because there would have been a notch outside of the garage, and I didn't really like the look of that. So you can see here right at the edge of the brick, there's a notch. So what I decided to do was let's do 3 rows, much better. Doesn't look like a big line down the center with the spacing. So I'm very happy. Again, I had extra brick because I was originally going to go down to the sidewalk and past the sidewalk to the road. So you can see here it's coming together. again, here's the walkway all the way down to the sidewalk. Just had to cut a few pieces. So a simple trick without using a gas saw, just mark it. And just use an angle grinder. I have a masonry blade on there. You just have to score a little bit all the way around the brick. And then just give the brick a few whacks and there you go. Nice and clean. And then it butts up perfectly against the sidewalk. So my neighbor, he does driveways for a living. He told me to do a 1/4 inch up above because if you drive over with a car, it'll slowly sink. Next is put the polymeric sand down. Read the instructions. Every bag's slightly different. So you put the sand down. Then you have to wet it a few times lightly, about 3 times, just to make sure it compacts in. I also did it a second time. But you can see here the steps and that walkway starting to take shape. So there's a finished walkway with all the polymeric sand. All the leftover bricks I ended up returning. It was about $600 I got as a refund. And then here's the other side towards the backyard. Again, my neighbor said put that little metal piece there just so as I asphalt it, it doesn't look bad. It makes a nice clean finish. There's an edge guard installed. So again, it was probably about 3.5 weeks. All that stuff sitting on my lawn definitely killed it, so I had to reseed it. But it came back fairly quickly. A couple plants. Make it look all nice. There you can see the lawn a bit more. And then here's the day they came to actually do the asphalt paving. Big machine with asphalt put in, and then it would slowly lower it down, and then it basically push it out. And they had a big crew there that day. It was, again, $2,400 cash. It was a $400 deposit, and then they came back about 6 weeks later, and I paid them the remainder $2,000. Very interesting to watch this machine. They definitely know what they're doing. This company's been around for well over 20 years. So now they're doing the other side, and down at the bottom. So it was a hot day that day. They recommended watering the driveway down just to help compacting it. And then they used the roller, and they went back and forth, and they went side to side as well. So here's the finished driveway. They told us to stay off for at least 2 weeks, which we did. Needs to be hosed down a few more times. You can still see some dirt. But they did a fantastic job. So they butt that right up to the edge of the interlock. They rolled over with the roller right at the edge of the garage. There's no more 2-inch drop. All the way to the side of the house. In this corner, if you remember before, they added about 6 inches of asphalt there. It has not sunk down. And here it is finished. The grass is growing in nicely. I did lay a strip of sod along the edge of the walkway, just from a different angle. And once again, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell.